있어봐. 별님께서 곧 행차하실 테니까.
Unonight, and I'm back. Alright, we're gonna have our second rate up banner for a character that's already been released, which is Talia. Okay, our first rate up banner for a released character is Methy, with Jiho just being, a different character, it's just a new character, that's why she has a banner. Now, you see, the thing with Talia is she just provides so much value to your account, it's nuts, okay? And the thing is, the more you invest in this unit, the more you're just gonna get paid back for it, right? So let's just talk about her artifact very quickly. 225% attack at origin. Oh, by the way, this thing only starts actually ramping up at legendary plus, right? Because 50% increase from legendary. So absolutely crazy. Does require time, but you get the point, right? So let's say you have her origin and level 3 ultimate. 310% plus a 225%. Not even counting the extra effects. It's crazy because 535% of her attack is nothing. It's not something you want to skim over, because attack wise she's doing really well compared to other DPS units, man. Like literally almost comparable to Naya, who we all know and love as one of the best DPS units in this game, right? So you see, the short answer is yes, and it depends, right? It depends on your account how many copies of Talia you have. So anywhere from not having a copy to legendary, you may want to put some Everstones into this pull. Now by some, I actually mean like 14,700. Now that's an oddly specific number. Let's just say 8 pulls. Sorry, 8 multis. 8 multis is a good number because we do get a guaranteed copy of it, so you don't have to come crying after getting shafted in this banner. And because at 40 you do get 10 extra pulls, so 80 pulls will cost you the price of I want to say, yeah, just 7 multis, which is 2100 by 7, 14,700 Everstones. Okay, now the reason why we probably stop there and not more is because as this game progresses, you're gonna start getting less and less Everstones every day, so you have to be a lot more critical and more strict about how you spend your Everstones. All right, end of the day, I can only give you this information. If you want to spend go all in, balls deep, 300, by all means, man. I'm not gonna stop you. If you love Talia, that's great, go 300 pulls, man. It's not even gonna be a bad decision, I guess, because she is overtuned as a character. It's let's just look at it very quickly, her skills, right? So she does have accuracy decrease over here to the enemy in a cone, which is massive. She also has this thing where it heals by her max HP and mana, and well, you're gonna want to invest a bit more copies in that because she does have a very high HP stat, 600k. So a few percentage of that every few seconds is absolutely nuts. Okay, that's crazy. That's decent heals, not the best healer in any way, but then really good, right? So if those are the only factors we're going to be using to pull for characters, well, we're going to run out of Everstones. We're always going to have 0, right? So we have to think about the other factors, which are the other characters in the game that do similar things, other units in the same attribute, and other supports as well, and the upcoming banners. Okay, perfect. So let's look at the other characters first. Now they're similar to her, which is probably only Geo and Prim. Right, so Prim, I don't know, not really that good compared to Talia. Obviously Prim's crazy because she has this attack buff, right? 20% in a circular area around her by 20% for 9 seconds. Sure, it's a lot more than Talia's, but then the thing is, Talia's is her passive, so it's always going to be active as long as she's not dead, right? No, obviously Prim has a lot more to offer than just what I've showed, but then for the most part, Talia is just very well rounded and going to be a very valuable unit. Alright, because personally I think supports are more worth it to spend Everstones on because they're not as easy to power creep. They could literally be power creep with I don't know, when they release Velana or Honglan, but what I'm saying is game wise, like it's not gonna be that easy to power creep these types of characters, right? So let's look at the other fairies. Now, if anything, this isn't going to be a con. If anything, it's just a pro, because this makes fairy gate so much easier, because Talia, Vivian, Naya, and Chloe among the best units in the game available right now. So if you have more Talia copies, it's only gonna benefit them, right? Especially in content such as Fairy Gate, which is crazy. Arguably the easiest gate, just because of how strong the fairy units are. So yeah. Again, it's really good that
부를 줄 알았어.
it's really worth it to get dupes of her, because she has skills that scale off her attack and HP, which increases with each ascension. Now, we have mentioned this in the past in another video, where every ascension boosts base stats by roughly 5 to 7% every single ascension, right? So that is huge and will pay you back in the long run. Right, let's just go through the roadmap very quickly. Okay, now we do have our future characters, 2 future characters already displayed here. Velana being an undead in Honglan. Well, she's not fairy. I don't know if she's beast, but I forget, right? Then we'll look at the other raid up banners that will be coming soon. Prim, Prim's just that character where you can't complain if you get her from normal pull, but then it's hard for me to justify pulling on her rate up, right? So probably not. Mika and Siha as well. I love those units to death, but I would not pull for them, right? If I get them from normal summons, I'd be happy, but then yeah. Catherine as well. Catherine again will depend more on your account. I'll be making a different video on that, but then you'll probably have enough Everstones if you want to pull for Catherine, just as long as you save for on the Prim and Mika and Siha banners. And Miriam, yeah. Miriam's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know about a raid up, bro, right? So what does that mean? Well, we're not gonna have any new fairy units anytime soon, so if things would be different if Vivian had her own rate up coming soon. But then Naya we don't have to talk about, because currently, but during the duration of the Talia rate up, we do have the Chloe event where you can get 4 copies of Naya, 3 to be bought and 1 is literally free from the daily mission events. Okay, perfect, wonderful. So yes, very worth it, with free copies of Naya, and then you just get Talia, boom, fairy gate done. Very easy. Alright, so let's talk about how many pulls you should be going for and how many you should be expecting with the 80 that I've recommended, right? So given that these rate up banners, how they work, so rate up banners, apart from the pity, I'm not even sure if you can call it pity. Yeah, let's just call it pity. Apart from that, you do get a 1.6% chance. I don't know why this is not working. Right, so I'm not going to bother. All you need to know is that you get a 1.6% chance. If you want to fact check, literally just check your detailed rates on your gacha. So 1.6% translates to a probability of 0.016, which is what we have here. Number of trials, we have 80 over here, the one I recommended. Now let's see, number of events, 1. Now the chances of you getting only 1, 35.8%, but then that doesn't matter too much for us, because we're looking at the probability of 1 or more copies of Talia at 72.48%. Now if you are lucky, which I hope you do, because what I'd be wanting you to get would be 3 copies. Alright, so 3 copies, 3 or more, you get 13.7%. Odds are not in your favor though. So realistically, what you'll be expecting is anywhere from 1 to 2 copies, apart from this, okay? Anywhere from 0 to 2 copies in your 14,700 Everstones. The reason I'm saying 80 is because, you know, you at least get that 1 copy, which if you are at Epic, be really good, because you get her Epic Plus, then boom. Alright, so just very beneficial in general. So how well does Talia fare in the current content and possible future content? Okay, let's just go through it very quickly. So challenge wise with the gate, we've mentioned absolutely crazy when it comes to the fairy gate. Very valuable. She's literally on over here, what do you call it, like their thumbnail, the thumbnail of the fairy gate. For dual gate, again, very good, because you may want to note that you do have to bring in 2 different teams, so you're gonna have to bring in 2 different supports. I would recommend Gio and Talia for each one. Separate them apart from your already healer, right? No, like say Catherine. Okay, perfect. Now for dungeon, she is one of the best units hands down, just because of this mechanic in dungeon, both labyrinth and hollow memories, by the way, where once you finish a match, it will save how much ult bar that you have. So say you end the match with 100% ult, you can start the next match with full ult. Given that Talia's ult is already crazy by itself, the fact that you can start a match off with it, very valuable, right? So for arena is that game mode where you're going to need characters that fare well even without their ultimate, and well, boom, Talia. Talia is crazy as a support over there with a battery, which again helps with the skills. Very important in arena to have your skills up a lot, and just the healing over time, very valuable. Okay, so yes, Talia fares well in all forms of content, including Battlefront, right? If you're on YouTube and you watch any Eversoul's content, you'll see Talia pretty much on more than half the teams that you'll see. When it comes to upcoming content, we do have other forms of content that are coming soon, such as Guild Boss. And well, regardless of that game mode, like we've already seen Talia do well, even the single target boss with Corrupted Chloe. So I find it hard that they'll be able to pump out content that Talia wouldn't be able to perform really well in. Because even in single target bosses, content where you can't use your ultimate and all that stuff, she's still one of the must-use supports in those game modes. Alright? So in the near future, Talia would still be on your team, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Now, if you're just looking for a way to like justify spending Everstones, then probably don't. Because honestly, you're gonna keep finding ways to like excuse yourself, or like, oh, I'm gonna pull in this banner, oh, you're gonna pull in this banner. You have to understand that all of these characters are available in the normal summons, so you don't have to ever worry about like running out. Oof. Okay, unlucky. Alright, 2 more. I'm not gonna do that right now though. You don't have to worry ever about not getting character, because eventually you will pull them in the normal summon, so it's just a matter of time, man. That's why I'm saying the only time it's worth it to actually pull for more copies of Talia is if you need to upgrade her. Okay? Because this is the fastest way to do that, and if you're willing to spend Everstones on it, then go for it. Alright. So that's about it. If that was good for you, then recommend subscribing, man. It'll benefit both of us. And well, that's it for this video. Again, try to do 8 multis and more if you really love the character and you want her origin +5, right? Because things start moving differently past origin. Okay, well, that's it for this video. I did the thinking this time, so you can do the playing. Cheers.